All right, Tausch. Happy Monday to you. So, I'd say it's safe to say it's as expected. We kind of anticipated this would happen, but news broke over the weekend that Matt LaFleur and Brian Gutekunst would be leading the Packers now for years to come. Don't know the details quite yet, but anything surprise you about what we learned over the weekend about these extensions?
Not really. I mean, I think there's always this emotion after a really tough loss, like we saw, I guess, 8 or 9 days ago against the Bears, and fans are going to feel a certain way, and there's a lot of disappointment with what Matt LaFleur has done in the playoffs, and that's deserved. But Matt LaFleur has been a really good football coach. Brian Gutekunst, I think the kind of overall feeling was, had we stayed healthy, this would have been a different season, being able to win the division and host playoff games rather than have to go to Chicago. And so the Packers, I think, as a whole, they want stability. You want to have competence. And in this case, I think that was always the smart move. It was just going to be, how was this going to all shake itself out? Because it's never as easy as just, yep, this is what we want to have happen. There's structure, there's money, there's years. And while we don't know, I think, all of those details yet, what we do know is that Ed Policy has kind of taken this thing and, I think, watched the season go, handled some adversity, but how are we going to get over the hump? Well, you still believe that Matt LaFleur, Brian Gutekunst, and Russ Ball are the right men to lead this group. And just because you sign a 5-year contract doesn't mean you're going to serve all 5 years. There still needs to be that urgency of winning. And if things, as we saw this offseason, 9 coaches, job openings, this business is very fickle. And if you don't win, you end up not having a job.
We haven't heard yet, Tausch, from Ed Policy or LaFleur yet, since I guess this came out over the weekend. But is this the right move? Are you happy that Matt LaFleur is coming back?
I think for where this is now, what is going to happen with his staff, and one of the things that I thought last week, while it was kind of, we were debating this on our show the whole week, was, are you going to make some changes? Because you can't just keep running things back and expect things to be different. Special teams coach and some of the other spots, I think, are going to be looked at. But yes, I think Matt LaFleur is a good football coach. Are there things he needs to be better at? Absolutely. And I thought last year he did some things better. He wasn't as emotional with the challenge flags where he'd just fire them out there and we'd lose and you'd lose timeouts. But there's still a lot of things that I think he needs to be better at. But he's still in that process. And I think the big question, you heard the players, Micah Parsons, Jordan Love, pretty much everybody that stepped up to a microphone last week on exit day, they all were very strong in their defense and belief that Matt LaFleur is the guy. I think his offensive mind, I think he's really good at a lot of things, but you have to be able to match big moments, and I think that's the thing Matt LaFleur, Jordan Love, and everybody, as they keep going through this process, you have to answer the bell. We saw it with Chicago yesterday, the not making big mistakes. Matt LaFleur is, I believe, the right guy moving forward, and we'll find out if that is indeed the case.
Tao, speaking of the Bears, totally thought they were going to win that game.
That was fun.
That was an amazing
watch,
game, but didn't you think they were going to do it again?
I did. There's just this feeling, and we saw it obviously twice against the Green Bay Packers, where if they keep it close, they find a way. That throw that Caleb Williams makes on fourth down, basically starting from like the 4-yard line, and he's back at the 40-something by the time he throws it. Yeah. It was an unbelievable play, and that's the thing that usually will springboard you forward. But I have to admit, I'm not mad. I'm not sad that it didn't quite work itself out for the Bears. And now everybody's back to even. And this division next year is going to be passionate, and it is going to be fun to watch with a lot of vitriol, which I think in sports is sometimes a good thing.
Yep, it's going to be a dogfight. Thank you, Tausch.
You bet, boys.
Tausch, sponsored by Kohler Services and Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Business headlines are up next. Sponsored by the Alliance Smarter Networks, Serious Savings.